So then they have that little debacle. And then the girls go and they try to address it with Shanae prior to the rose ceremony. And that kind of goes up in flames as well. Do you guys have any thoughts about this scene, this conversation?
You mean when the girl tried to bring it up to Clayton?
No, when like pre-rose ceremony, when they came back into the house and Shanae had got another plate of shrimp and she was like, does anyone want the shrimp? And they're like,
my
no,
gosh,
we want to
I
talk
forgot about
about everything.
And everyone is yelling.
Yeah.
It's just,
oh my God. I forgot that happened.
yeah.
She was sitting there with a shrimp being like, does anyone want any shrimp?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was wondering.
She likes provoking people. She really, and I don't like that personality, like in my personal life. So watching it was just kind of like, this is grating to like see someone that's like purposely pissing off the other ladies in the house because she knows that she has a physical connection of Clayton and Clayton feels it too. So like she can really kind of rest easy knowing like, well, this is a competition and I am winning in that way. So I do get to be kind of forever one in the house because Clayton, it's not like he doesn't care, but he's not like as, keyed into that stuff. I would say he's kind of just like out of sight, out of mind almost.
Yeah. And like that trait of just like, that, like, you take that kind of action, which was like she got all the shrimp and then she sat there like, does anyone want shrimp? And it's like, technically, there's nothing wrong with her just like eating shrimp and wanting to offer people shrimp. But, like contextually, and she can of course make up, like if anyone like brings it up to her, she'll be like, why are you all making such a big deal of this? I'm just a girl eating shrimp. Why are you all like always targeting me for every little thing that I do? Like she could definitely have like a whole story if anyone wants to call her out on it. But the truth is like the context, it's like, you know that you're eating shrimp in front of everyone to like aggravate and agitate the situation and like kind of annoy everyone. Like there's no other way to really read that dynamic. And even though she would have a plausible excuse if anyone brought it up, and like it's exactly that kind of behavior that's like it like toes the line between acceptable and unacceptable. Like that's the kind of line that I feel like a lot of people, I'll just use the word mean people. I don't want to like psychoanalyze here, but like just like it's like it's a mean person behavior of like, I can toe this line of acceptable and unacceptable, make everyone uncomfortable and upset everyone, but still have plausible deniability that I was just eating shrimp. Like that exact kind of behavior is like, you watch out for it because you don't want to deal with someone who is doing stuff that is gonna, she knows that she's pissing people off, but she's gonna make excuses about it. Like that's exactly the kind of behavior. It's like, I gotta just remove myself from this situation. Like I can't be around someone that is doing this kind of that kind of very sneaky type of behavior,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think Shanae's strategy is honestly evolving a little bit, which I am mad about.
Yeah.
But I think in the beginning, her strategy was like, let me find someone to take them down. And honestly, she has accomplished that. Like she did what she came to do. And I think now, I think you touched on it a little bit, Julie, that she's realizing that she doesn't have to answer to these girls. She's realizing that it doesn't really matter what the girls think of her. So like what you were saying, Kelly, in terms of like, she can toe this line of like being annoying, but like still having a cop out of like, well, I was just eating my sushi. I was minding my business.
I know.
Like she doesn't have to answer to these girls because Clayton likes her. And that's at the end of the day, what the show is about. And I think her strategy is becoming a little bit more mature and advanced and evolved.
She's like a robot. She's becoming so sophisticated. Like her strategy. She's like learning and growing.
Artificial intelligence is like
she's like becoming so AI right now. That's so funny.
That's honestly what it is.
Yeah.
Which is like super frustrating because it's like you can't really be mad at that. Like, it's annoying to watch, but it's like she's right. Like it really doesn't matter what these girls think of her, and as long as she's still able to keep Clayton in her web of lies, that's all that matters.
And Clayton's not really being he's just not really being super self-aware about it either. Like that's kind of the other thing too. He's participating because like if he walked by and she was like talking about the shrimp and the ladies are screaming, he'd be like, that sounds like a nothing. Like nothing that I need to like get involved with, because why do I have to argue with these ladies or get involved with them if they're arguing about shrimp? It's all of what Kelly said, the context of it, of like what she's doing, and a little bit of that, like it's a little bit malicious. It's a little bit malicious.
You know what it is? It's like Brianna, to your point, like so many people come on this show and they're like, it doesn't matter what the other girls, what the other guys think of me. It doesn't matter. Like all that matters is what Clayton thinks of me. And so it doesn't matter if I push buttons and like piss people off. And it's like, the truth is, you don't really want to be around people like that in real life, because if someone, I always say, like, if someone isn't nice to everyone, if they're only nice to the people that they want something from, then they're not actually a nice person, right? Like if you are only like extending kindness and compassion and being like, you know, I don't know, like friendly with people that you want to get something out of, and everyone else you like treat like dirt, then it's like, okay, you're not a nice person. You're just a person who is like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like manipulative, but it's just like, it's
you can turn it on when you want to.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's a deal breaker though. Yeah. Because people like don't like when people are mean to waiters, because it's like, what does it say if you treat someone like that? How you view,
No, you're right on. You're so on it, Julie. It's like your capacity for cruelty, like, is now evident, right? Based on the way that Shanae treats these other people, it's like, Clayton, if you piss her off, she's gonna treat you like that too. That's the thing. It's like, clearly she's not just a good, like a kind, nice person who's kind and nice to everyone. She will, if you piss her off, she's gonna treat you in some type of way. And so like, that's like the waiter thing. Exactly. You like,
that's the thing. I think that she honestly can keep up this facade for the whole season, because I don't think that her goal is necessarily to enter into a long-term successful relationship off of the show. And so with that in mind, she's accomplishing her goals. Her goal is to win. And she's doing what she needs to do to get there. And
it
I
just
mean,
sucks,
like, she's a villain, but you can't really be mad at it if she's doing what she came to do. It just sucks that like other people are in the path of her destruction who actually have the goal of having that long-term relationship. They want to actually date Clayton for Clayton and not just so they can say they won The Bachelor. If you want more of where that came from, be sure to check out our full episode recap. It'll be linked in the description as well as pop up on this screen.